Hello everyone, thank you for coming to EDUCon 2021 and thank you for joining this session. My name is Kobe Mike and I will present the research Widening the Shrinking Pipeline, the case of data science. This paper was written together with Dr. Gili Artal from Bar-Ilan University and with Professor Orit Chazan from the Technion. First of all, I would like to explain what is the shrinking pipeline. And the shrinking pipeline is a phenomena that was described by Tracy Camp. And the phenomena that Camp described is that at that time, number of women learned computer science in high school was almost half. But the numbers are declining when you go to higher education. And less women starts bachelor degree, less master degree, and even less PhD degree. And further up on the academic ladder, you can see even less women. So from about 50% women learning computer science in high school, it turns out that there are about only 5% women who serve as a full professor in computer science departments. Not only that, but the number of women is also declining along the years. And in 1984, almost 38% of the bachelors in computer science were women. A decade later, only 28% of the bachelors were women. So this is the incredible shrinking pipeline of women in computer science. And in this paper, we show how data science have the opportunity to change this phenomena, even for computer science. So what is data science? Data science is an interdisciplinary science focused on extracting value from data. In order to extract value from data, one needs knowledge and skills from computer science, mathematics and statistics, and additional domains such as social science. The background of our research is a data science workshop intended for researchers in social science and digital humanities. And I will present some details about this workshop. I will present the applicants, the participants, the timeline of the workshop, and the content. So this is the distribution of the workshop applicants. We had 195 applicants for this workshop. And we can see the distribution both according to academic rank and according to academic domain. And we can see that most of the applicants were PhD students, and we had a very large diversity of academic domains who are interested in data science. And you can see from this slide that most of the applicants were women, but the base rate of women in social science and digital humanities in Israel is similar to the men versus women distribution in our applicants. On this slide, we can see the workshop timeline and participants. And the first thing that I want to show is the woman to men distribution that finally registered to the workshop. And I want to emphasize that any applicant who wanted to register was able to register. So the numbers that are written here are the numbers of applicants who finally registered to the workshop and not applicants that we selected for the workshop. So in the first workshop, we had 27 women and 2 men. And on the second workshop, we had 23 women and only 1 man. This extreme distribution of women to men was the trigger for this research. Now, the first workshop was face-to-face, as it held on February last year, before COVID-19 curfews in Israel. The first COVID-19 curfew started on the middle of March. So the second workshop that was held on September was already an online Zoom workshop. This is the workshop's topic, and we teach introduction to data science, introduction to web scraping, computational thinking, Python programming, web scraping in Python, data analysis in Python, fundamentals of machine learning, and machine learning algorithms such as KNN, SVN, and artificial neural network. We also teach text analysis, as this is one of the main applications of data science in social sciences and digital humanities. As we can see, this data science workshop is designed for researchers without prior experience in programming, and we teach programming as part of the workshop, and 44 hours starting from computational thinking to data analysis with Python. Half of the workshop time is devoted to programming. We investigated 3 research questions. What are the social science and digital humanities researchers' motivations to participate in the data science workshop? And can the different motivations for the participation in the data science workshop explain the high rate of women's participation in these workshops? We also discuss what are the implications of this phenomenon for higher education in STEM subjects. The research tools were questionnaires. We had a questionnaire that was sent to all the applicants for the workshop. 195 researchers answered these questionnaires, and we have questionnaires for the workshop's participants, and total number of 53 participants answered those questionnaires. We had the pre-workshop questionnaires, 6 daily reflective questionnaires that were given during the workshop, and the post-workshop questionnaire. We also used the observations in these workshops. Me as the instructor of the workshop, Orit as the observer, and Gili as a participant. And we also had our researchers' fields notes. The results will be presented according to the expectancy value theory of Eccles and Wickfried. The expectancy value theory explains the components that influence achievement-related choices and performance. It includes many components arranged in the layers, and we will talk only about the 2 main components, expectations for success and subjective task value. So the first component is the expectancy for success. And expecting for success is how well the participant think he will be able to succeed in the task. And one main component of the workshop that we want to examine is programming, because programming can be perceived as a barrier. And we asked our participants what is challenging for you in the workshop. And indeed, the most challenging component was programming, with almost 60% of the participants indicating that programming is challenging for them. We also asked them, what do you expect to learn in the workshop? And again, almost 60% of the participants mentioned that they expect to learn data analysis, and only about 40% mentioned that they are expecting to learn programming or programming and data analysis. This means that the workshop was perceived as data-focused and not as programming-focused. And thus, even though programming is perceived as a barrier, it was not perceived for this specific workshop. As we've seen previously, the workshop is not programming light, and half of the hours were devoted for programming, and all other tasks were done based on programming skills. So it is very interesting that even though the workshop is based heavily on programming, it was not perceived as a programming workshop. The second component is the task value, and we asked the participants what is your motivation to learn data science, and we found 2 motivations. The first is skills acquisition and independence in future research. For example, a law faculty member said, to gain basic skills for working with data science methods in order to engage in meaningful collaboration with data scientists and to be independent in my research. Second motivation we found is attaining a cutting-edge and science-oriented position. For example, an history faculty member said to learn the tools that are currently seen as the spirit of humanities research. The future is there. So this answers our first research question, and now we'll try to analyze our data to answer the second research question. Thus, those motivations explain the high participation of women in the workshops. For that, we will look on the data from two perspectives, the interdisciplinary perspective and the epistemological perspective. As we have seen previously, data science is defined as including the data domain, and the workshop was designed to use this as an advantage. And this was done by integrating the researchers' native research into the workshop, and the participants were able to work on their own research during the workshop. The interdisciplinarity of data science might fit the women researchers very well, and this is for two reasons. First, you can become a data science researcher in your own domain, and if you are a law researcher, you can be a law researcher that uses data science methods, and you don't have to leave the domain, and thus integrating data science into your own domain. Second explanation is given by Rothen and Firman that presents evidence and possible explanations for why women researchers are more involved in interdisciplinary activities than their male counterparts. Second explanation comes from the epistemological perspective, and data science is a pluralistic paradigm that does not impose a single research method, and women researchers can embrace data science methods within the current research paradigm. This shift enables them to elevate the scientific value of their data and research, and this again can help the women researcher to elevate their career. To conclude, data science is an interdisciplinary science and be framed as research paradigm relevant for many non-STEM sciences. Learning STEM-oriented skills in the context of data science is less intimidating and set less barrier for women. Thus, we propose that any social science and digital humanities graduate students will learn a course in data science research methods, and this is in addition to the standard qualitative research methods and quantitative research methods that are already integrated into the curriculum of social science and digital humanities. So thank you very much for listening, and we will welcome your questions and discussion in the online session.